Arsenal ready to match £45 million asking price for Brazilian midfield wizard. Mikel Arteta may be close to landing his dream midfield target, as reports suggest the Gunners are ready to meet the player's asking price. Arsenal are reportedly prepared to step up their pursuit of Atalanta midfielder Ederson, with fresh claims suggesting the Gunners could move closer to the Italian club's valuation as competition intensifies from Manchester United. According to reports originating from Italian outlet Tutto Giuvi, Atalanta had initially expected strong interest from Atletico Madrid. However, the Spanish side are believed to have called their pursuit due to the midfielder's price tag, which is set between €45 million, £39 million, and €50 million, £43.3 million. UEFA release official statement on Arsenal denied penalty against Atletico Madrid. That development has effectively opened the door for both Arsenal and United, who are now described as being ready to move concretely for the 26-year-old. Arsenal's interest in Ederson is not new. Respected journalist David Ornstein previously confirmed that the North London club have been monitoring the Brazilian closely as part of their summer recruitment plans. While early evaluations from Arsenal were believed to be slightly low, around €40 million, £34.7 million, the gap between their offer and Atalanta's demands is not considered significant. With the player entering the final year of his contract, Atalanta may be under pressure to sanction a sale this summer rather than risk losing him for a reduced fee in the future. This contractual situation could play into Arsenal's hands, although United's parallel interest adds another layer of complexity to the negotiations. Manager Mikel Arteta is understood to be keen on strengthening his midfield options, despite already possessing considerable depth. Players such as Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi have carried a heavy workload in recent months, particularly during Arsenal's demanding domestic and European schedule. Reports indicate that fatigue has begun to impact performance levels, especially in Zubimendi's case. Although squad players including Christian Nørgaard and Mikel Merino provide cover, there are indications that Arteta does not yet view them as reliable starters for high-stakes fixtures. This has prompted the club to explore the market for a more dynamic and physically dominant midfielder. Ederson fits that profile. Known for his energy, pressing ability, and box-to-box presence, the Brazilian offers qualities that Arsenal's current midfield unit is perceived to lack. His style of play aligns with Arteta's tactical demands, particularly in maintaining intensity and control in central areas. Manchester United's involvement, however, could prove decisive. The Old Trafford club are also in the market for midfield reinforcements and have the financial capability to meet Atalanta's valuation without significant compromise. This could force Arsenal to accelerate their efforts if they are serious about securing the player's signature. Arsenal and Manchester United will go head-to-head for Atalanta star Ederson, according to an Italian report, as the Gunners and the Red Devils plan to reinforce their respective midfield department in the summer transfer window. While Arsenal are aiming to win the Premier League and the Champions League this season, Manatd are only 2 points away from securing their place in the top 5. Both Arsenal and Manatd will be active in the transfer market this summer, and Ederson is a player that both the Gunners and the Red Devils are keen on. According to Tutto Giuvi, Ederson is in the auction, with Arsenal and Manatd involved in the race for Atalanta defensive midfielder. Atletico Madrid have decided not to make a move for the Brazil international defensive midfielder because of Atalanta's demands. The Italian club want between €45 million and €50 million up to £43.3 million, $58.5 million for the 26-year-old, which is too much for Atletico. Atletico are now looking at Wolves midfielder João Gomes, with Tutto Giuvi, a Juventus-centric Italian news outlet, reporting that Arsenal and Manchester United are the two teams most interested in the Brazilian midfielder. The report, which has also noted Juventus' interest in Ederson, has added, both clubs are looking for quality midfield reinforcements and see Ederson as an ideal profile due to his physicality, dynamism, and ability to get into the box. With Arsenal and Manchester United ready to make concrete moves, negotiations for Ederson are entering the fray. Manut's interest is not a new story, as he was already on the list in summer 2025 and remains a monitored player. Manutd are informed about the situation of Ederson, but at the moment nothing is decided. Ederson has been monitored for a long time at Manutd. He was already a target 1 year ago, but Atalanta said no to his exit. This summer, they are prepared to sell for €45 million, but again from Manutd, there is still no decision made. Earlier this month, Romano explained why Ederson would be a smart signing for Manutd. The Italian journalist said on his YouTube channel, "And then guys, keep an eye also on another player. And that name is Ederson, the Brazilian midfielder from Atalanta." Because what's happening with Ederson is that Atletico Madrid have an agreement with the player on personal terms already since February, March, but at the moment, Atletico Madrid are not willing to pay what Atalanta want for Ederson. Atalanta start from €45 million, maybe could be negotiated around €40 million, something around that. But negotiating with Atalanta is never easy for any club. And so, now, from what I understand, Premier League clubs are also calling for Ederson. So, if Atalanta and Atletico Madrid are not able to close this deal for the Brazilian midfielder, keep an eye on the situation also with Premier League clubs, because you remember that Manutd were tracking him already when Ruben Amorim was the coach. He has always been appreciated by people at the club. Let's see if Manutd decide to return on this one. But Ederson could be attractive, because he's out of contract in 2027. Could be a very good opportunity. He's not on a crazy salary, so the salary could be a factor financially. You can get a very good player on a normal price in terms of the full package, salary, commission, and then obviously transfer fee, but Atalanta insist on €45 million. So, Premier League clubs also calling and attentive to the situation for Ederson. Atletico Madrid have an agreement with the player, but not yet with Atalanta.